In this video, I'm going to be going over how to use Audacity to mess around with specific beats in songs. So to better understand what I'm trying to explain, let's look at an example. Alright, so for this what they did is they took the first beat of every 4-bar measure and repeated it every beat over the course of the entire song. So like, yeah, you get the idea. So this is a pretty simple example, and there are definitely more complex things that you could do with this idea while you're editing beats like this. And I just wanted to like briefly cover how to do that in my own way, I guess. So let's get right into it. So first what you're going to want to do is find the BPM of the song. You could just Google it, or you could use this website, BPM Tapper. Works pretty well if you don't know and it's not online. So for this, the BPM is 150. So what we're gonna do, if the song has an intro or like a little bit of a pause before it starts, you're gonna want to find that. Like right here, it has just the tiniest bit of pause. This part is very important because if it has any pause whatsoever and your beats are off, it's gonna not sound right. So you're gonna want to delete that. I just selected it and hit the delete key. And now it starts immediately on the first beat. And so with all this done, you're going to want to go to generate rhythm track and then change this right here, whatever it is, to the BPM that you found earlier. It's going to make this big long thing. You can delete the end of it, it doesn't matter. This is just your reference point for the BPM. So what I like to do is make sure it's lined up, just play it a couple times, make sure it's lined up very well throughout the entire song. So that looks pretty good to me. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our generated rhythm and I'm going to analyze it and find the beats. Threshold percentage, I just leave that at default, which I don't even know if that's default, but yeah, 65 default. Alright, and you're going to get something that looks like this. Now this is pretty handy because what it does is it snaps to each beat. The thing with this is you can't move it around, I don't think. Alright, so now what you're going to want to do once you have all of this set up, you're going to want to fix it just a little bit. Because the beat finder is not perfect by any standard, so if it's not aligned correctly, what you're going to do is just drag it a little bit until it is aligned. So now, we have a starting point for every single beat, and it's so easy just to grab a little loop of something that you like. And you can already do a lot with this, to be fair. You can, let's see, what did they did the original, they just did this first beat like 4 times. Alright, so in order to do what they did, I'm going to, let's see, if I did the intro, it wouldn't sound as, interesting. Alright, so this is beat 1. I'm just going to copy that, paste it, and then move track up so I can see what I'm doing. I have to go all the way to the back because it pastes the beginning. Yeah, this wouldn't be an issue if you start at the beginning, but I want it to sound interesting. Alright, so that's aligned. That's beat 1. So what they did is they copied each beat and just did it like that for each bar. Alright, so I did forget to mention there's a faster way to copy and paste each beat like this. There's an effect. You can go up here, special, repeat, and it does exactly what it says it'll do. And this will greatly speed up the process because you can hit Control R and that will redo the last effect that you just did. So you can do paste, Control R, and move back, and then this is pretty good. This is just copying exactly what somebody else did. You can do anything with this idea. You can delete beats, you can add your own, you could swap them around. Alright, and then another concept I wanted to outline was if you wanted to remove each beat without having to manually go in here and select the beat and remove it. If you didn't want to do that for every single beat, there's another way you can do it, and it's by using this effect called tremolo. Where is it? Tremolo. Okay. So this effect is pretty much like a sine wave that controls volume, if that makes sense. But we're going to use it in a way that's probably not intended, and sync it up just perfectly so that you can mute one beat and keep the other. Make sure to use these presets right here. Waveform type square, starting phase. This doesn't really matter right now. It will matter. You'll see in just a second. Wet level, you're gonna have to keep that 100. All right, and this frequency. And so how we do this is we convert BPM to hertz. And yes, that's a thing. And so you're gonna want to put in your beats per minute right here, and that's 2.5 hertz. And then you put in 2.5 hertz, and then here it is. That's pretty interesting, isn't it? All right, so you can undo that. And let's see, I want to do tremolo, but this time I'm going to do 180. So it'll start on a different beat this time. And that's pretty cool in and of itself. But also what you can do, go to tremolo, starting phase. So we can do like 90, and that'll be like half a beat. So you can get some really interesting results with just like messing around with this alone. And then like combined with this other method, you can do so much stuff with this. Like it's insane. Can truncate silence. That's pretty fun. Just make all of it this beat. Every other beat is removed, and then that's it. And this isn't perfect by any standard, but I mean, it's pretty close if you just like want to fuck around and make something funny. So with this idea, you can actually copy this, undo what you just did, do the tremolo again. Tremolo at 0, so it's the other beat, and then paste in your other thing that you just made. So you can essentially recreate the entire track within 2 tracks on Audacity. So nothing else is playing. This is essentially the entire song normally. And so here's the fun part. What you can do, just offset it a little bit, and then watch. This is brand new. That kind of goes hard though. See what I mean? Like this, it's just so fun. I think that's all I had to share. I don't know. There's so many other things that you can do with this, like this method and this method, like combined. They can combine. You can do so much with this. Like this is nothing. So I just kind of wanted to put that out there, make it known that you can do this shit just in Audacity, the fucking easiest software ever. Because I want to hear more stuff, more things like this. This is so cool, and it's so easy. I feel like just as long as you get the basics down, it's pretty easy, pretty simple. All right, well, thanks for watching, and don't forget,